Have you watched the series Peaky Blinders? I think they're at their season 6 already, and they're coming up with the new season this June. I don't know if we're gonna play this. Of course, this is May. They're gonna play this seventh and final season, I think, of one of the best TV series of all time, Peaky Blinders. Thomas Shelby, it's like a very important figure in that series. Of course, he's the lead actor, just like Harvey Specter is in Suits, one of my favorite characters of all time in a series as well. But in this episode, I'm gonna talk about 10 important lessons probably that a man should learn from Thomas Shelby. And if you don't know who he is, Google is free. And for those that know him, you're in for a treat. Let's do this. One important lesson that I see with Thomas Shelby is this. He always seems to remain calm under pressure. Like, you never see him rattled at all, like any situation, people killing each other in front of everyone else, and there he is, calm, emotionless, poker face. Nothing could deter what he is gonna do or think. There's exactly two kinds of people living. One who lets pressure break them, me most of the time. And two, they use or leverage the external pressure to make themselves, and I'll say it in his own words, fucking better, Fookin. They make themselves fucking better or a lot better. Those who don't succumb to the pressure that comes along with it, often they outsmart those who do. As it is with the case with Thomas, he is always calm under pressure. And that's what we all try to do. That's one thing I try to do in every situation wherein your mind is racing at 100 miles per second. Here you are, relaxed and calm, trying to think what to do in that current situation. So it's number one. But really, how do you actually remain calm? Number one is to take control of your body language. If you're slouching, if you're too laid back, you wanna see how you stand up. Don't overreact to everything. You know how comedians on stage, how they position themselves when they talk? They have this awkward body postures. Some of them go like this, or some of them like too laid back. They always have their own types of body language. In actuality, it makes them feel awkward, but it makes them interesting. Take control of your body language so that people would know if you're trying to command them, make them laugh, or you're giving them an idea that you are strong. Another thing is you want to take deep and consistent breaths. Every time I wanted to react to something negative with another negative thing, I would do this. I would breathe in for 6 seconds and hold my breath for 6 seconds and breathe out, and do that for about a minute. And most likely, when your emotions are high, after that 1 minute, emotions tend to go down a little bit. So that helps. Take deep and consistent breaths for about a minute. It helps with your mindfulness. And lastly, you want to expose yourself to less challenging simulations of the situations that you are about to face. I remember before when I used to, for example, get pulled over by cops, my heart would be racing because I know what wrong thing I did, like beating red lights, overspeeding, and stuff like those. Before, I would really panic, and out of panicking, you would use your anger first, right? Like, wala akong ginawa. I didn't know. Anong ginawa ko? You would be in that confrontational mode because that's your defense mechanism, to protect yourself. But if you remain calm, you would be nicer and more conversational with the officer. And most of the time, they would let you go. Because if you act nicer to the person, remember, the cops are also people. And if you talk to them nicely and, in a calm-mannered way, they would talk to you in a calm-mannered way. There's no getting out of a situation if you are, trying to do that, shoving in words to their mouth, like, do you know who I am, and stuff like those. Usually, that would end in a bad way. It's like you're fighting fire that hasn't been there yet with fire. What happens is you're adding fuel to the fire. You don't want that. Be calm. Another thing you can learn from Thomas Shelby is this. Never settle down or never settle for anything less. Why? Because racetracks, not enough for him. Production factories, not enough for him. There's always more that he wants. The entire Birmingham, for example, not fucking enough. It's not enough. So he wants more and more and more. He doesn't settle down for something because he knows he deserves more. It's never about what you already accomplished, but what about what you are gonna do next. And the day you stop growing is actually the day that you start dying. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comment section. Another great thing that a man could learn from Thomas Shelby is this: stress in moderation is good. Too much stress is not good. A little stress is good because it will help you, keeps you on your toes. Another thing is it will improve your performance because you're stressed a little, so you want to do a lot better. It will also help you make better decisions at the same time. And it will make you more aware of any threats around you that looms around to probably take you down. He's had a lot of threats around him most of the time, and he's aware of it. Stress in the right quantity is good. Too much of it will kill you. Another thing you want to learn from Thomas Shelby is this: never lose sight of your purpose. Your purpose is your why you did this in the first place. So most people compromise on the bigger purpose of short-term gains. Instead of short-term gains, you want to focus on delayed gratification, investing in your future instead of getting what you want now. If you let instant gratification F you up, you are going to live a regrettable and very, very shallow type of life. And you don't want that. You don't want comfort. Bearing the temporary pain that you're getting right now for your long-term pleasure is always the way to go. Hard work now, pain today, good stuff tomorrow. Next thing is, you want to never take your family for granted. You know, in all mobster and gangster film, family always comes first. They're the most important thing. Above power, money, and respect, family is there. Even if they're not even blood, family comes first. And that's what Thomas Shelby stands for a lot in that series. Your family is everything. Despite all the dysfunction that comes in with the family and the family business, even after you have achieved all that you've dreamed of or dreamed about, family still comes first. If you don't have anyone to share it with, then what's the use? You have nothing. It's gonna be all for nothing. Keep your family close and be grateful for them. And if you're not grateful for your family, I don't know. Another great lesson that we can learn from Thomas Shelby is this: control the narrative. Control the narrative, control the story, because if you control the narrative, you are strong. Don't fall for someone else's fame or how they grow about. Thomas does this very brilliantly by asking questions that's not even related to the prior conversations that he had. It puts him in charge of the conversation. If you notice, when he talks, he does something wherein that he is ahead of every conversation, that he knows if someone is bullshitting him or not. Ironically, it makes sure you don't let someone else use this against you and then slip by. In this type of business, in the business that he runs, he has to always be ahead of everyone else. And that's what's great about him, and something that a lot of people can learn from. Next important lesson that a man can learn from Thomas Shelby is this: turn trash into treasures. In his area, Birmingham, Thomas not only transforms lemons into lemonades. We've heard a lot of statements about creating lemonades out of lemons that life gives us. But literally, he makes the worst and makes it the best. And the way he does that is not by succumbing to the short-term emotions that he has for that current situation. If he's given dirt, he makes it fertilizers. But by looking at the bigger picture, and he acts out of patience. It's a great lesson that a lot of us can learn from him. Next to the last important thing is that in his words, tell the fucking truth. He says this a lot when he talks to a family member of his. If you let your reputation get stained because of your lying habits, it'll be really hard to establish trust. Trust is really important in the business that he runs. And without trust, you don't stand a chance, neither in the business world nor in your personal lives. If a business and a relationship is not based on trust, it's gonna crumble. That's just it. Honesty, it's not really a weakness, it's a strength, because it takes courage to be honest most of the time. And lastly, probably the 10th important lesson that every man should learn from Thomas Shelby is that understand what they want. If you can make others dependent on you by listening to what they want and providing it to them, well, you won't have to worry about fulfilling what you want in life. If you want to be successful and rich, give the people what they want, and in turn, they'll give you what you want. What he's trying to say here is that give so much value in terms of what you can offer to people, and they will pay you for that. Thomas makes sure that he hears the words of people and what they want and what others want in his area, what they want most in life, and get them on his side. Remember, on the very, very first episode of Peaky Blinders, he has a very good relationship with the Chinese community, and the Chinese community respects him a lot because of the value that he provides to them. Not just the protection, but the value value he provides. And in turn, they're all indebted to him in what he does for the community. Give as much value as you can without asking for anything in return. They will be indebted to you, and when people are indebted to you, they would do anything to get back at you. Question of the day: what do you think is the most important lesson that you could learn from Thomas Shelby? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Peace.